Hey guys, and welcome to another one of mine, No.1 Sentai Gozyuger episode commentary and reviews. This time, it's episode 11, Unleash the Wild. The Beastmaster plays his flute. Let's get into the episode. So the episode starts with Rikuo practicing some song and dance moves, when he hears a couple of people coming and flicks one of his profile shots at the two guys. And apparently they're the Rikuo Revenge Squad. One guy, his girl was so obsessed with Rikuo, she dumped him. And the other guy, his missus went and spent the entire wedding fund on Rikuo merchandise, as they transform and become Duoja and Sun Vulcan. Saying he's pretty much born guilty, Rikuo transforms into Goju Leon. As the three fights, they trade insults and blows before Rikuo pulls out his Leon Blaster, and shooting the pair, they're beaten. And as they power down, their rings land at his feet. Saying that Rikuo can dance by himself for all they care, he's a washed up idol, and off they run. And as Rikuo picks up the rings and walks off, a stranger steps out from behind some cover, and he was watching the whole thing. But later on, at the Tiger Sword Village cafe, the Gozyugers have actually received a parcel from Osai, the former Tyranno Red. And in the package is some Tiger Ring cases, which they're all happy about. Rikuo says just in time because he's just gotten some. And Herrero says he's in the lead because he's got 5 of them. And they start harassing him over it, but they're interrupted as they hear a flute playing. And it's the stranger from earlier who enters playing an ocarina. And he comes in and sits down and says, this cafe used to be known as Half Century. And the town has changed. But when Ryuji comes up to him, he goes, I'll take a hot honey milk, heavy on the honey. Before he introduces himself as a beast tamer, and saying he's a vagabond who wanders around, and he's searching for something. And when Herrero says, oh, what are you searching for? Is it a job? He says no. He's searching for a horned beast who stole the one person who he cared about the most. Before they can get any more into it, Herrero and Rikuo realise there's a No.1 attack going on, saying they've got beasts to catch of their own. When they get there, the creature introduces itself as No.1 World's Tag No.1. And if they want to beat it, it's got to be at tag. And with that, the Gozyugers transform. Transporting to a forest, the No.1 monster says he's first, as the Gozyugers run away. But the hands on the No.1 monster's shoulders are attached, and they are what go after the Gozyugers, as they beat the hands away. But before they know it, they're interrupted by the sound of an ocarina playing once again, as Gaia returns to say to think everyone in that cafe had a ring. As he dumps his bag, introduces himself as the No.1 beast tamer, No.2 at tag, and shows off he has one of the rings. As he transforms into Gal Red. And as he calls himself No.1 at tag, they're transported back into the city, where No.1 tag says they're going to play freeze tag. So whoever gets tagged is frozen. As the Gozyugers chase after the grunts and No.1 tag, Gal Red pulls out a kalimba and starts playing the Gozyuger theme tune, which causes Herrero to lose control, drop to all fours, and howl, before he starts acting like a dog and chasing after all the grunts. As Gal Red explains that all beasts can be controlled by a particular song and instrument. And for wolves, that's the kalimba. And using that song, he can control him. And it's the power of his ring. One beast, one song. As Herero bounces around, tagging Dip and Grunt. Before he returns to Gal Red, where he's told to shake. When he stops playing, the song breaks and he's about to go for him. But he starts playing it again, causing Herero to chase after and tag No.1 tag. But when that's all done, he breaks through the ice and says, right, new rules, high ground, and jumps on top of a building. This causes Gal Red to look in his bag and pull out some jawbones and start playing them. And so elsewhere, Semina's at some high class do, getting ready to shake hands and rub noses, when she makes an absolute fool of herself by acting like a horse as she hears this instrument being played. And she next appears, transformed on top of the roof with No.1 tag, before she kicks him off and Gal Red tags him. But he doesn't accept the result and he says one more game. But it's just then, it's the 5 o'clock announcement, so everyone to have a safe trip home. And No.1 tag says, right, another rule is there's no games after sunset. You got to finish by sunset, so we're carrying on tomorrow. And he runs off. Powering down, Guy turns around to Rico and says, you know, that fight in the park and this tag, you're good at manipulating people. You should be a beast tamer. So Rico says, you know, I'll take the compliment, but I'm not joining you. As Gaia tells them that after he becomes #1 tomorrow, he's going to take all their rings. And he walks off. Back in No.1 world, Fire Candle's complimenting No.1 tag. But Bouquet says, do you not realise, did you not know? He's actually a special experiment by Queen Taegajun. As that night, Herero finds Rico simulating the game of tag with cut-out characters on a board. And he says he rehearses everything. As Herero says, you know, that's not his style. As he eats a bag of toasted bread crusts. But he says he's going to be #1 tomorrow and he'll show Rikio how you play tag. As elsewhere, Gaia's playing his ocarina and thinking about the girl that he lost. As he says out loud her name and that he swears he'll get her back. The next day, it's time for the final rounds. As the game starts, all the Rangers run away, except for Herero, who stands his ground and lets No.1 tag him. But then he says, well, that means now I'm it, as he activates his Decacaliber and slashes at the No.1, causing everyone to stop and stare. No.1 says it's against the rules, but Herero says, you don't make the rules for me. And so if I'm it, I'm going to tag the crap out of you. And he does. Not liking the way things are going, Gal Red grabs his kalimba and starts playing, causing Herero to drop to all fours and start running off howling. But as soon as he stops playing, Herero uses the Decacaliber to slash a portal leading right behind No.1 tag, attacking him from behind. Realising what's going on, Goju Leon calls out his Leon Blaster, shooting the caliber out of Gal Red's hands, and the pair begin fighting. Ryuji ends up joining Herero in fighting No.1 tag, as Tag says, new rules, high ground. So, Ryuji calls out his Tyranno hammer and smashes the pile underneath No.1 tag. Seeing that No.1 tag's in trouble, Bouquet decides to join the fight and enters her mech, piloting it into the real world, where she's seen by Goji Unicorn, who activates Tiger Sword Black. And the two titans start to fight. Back inside, Rico is still fighting Gaia, but as he goes to his bag and pulls out some maracas to control the lion, Rico uses his new ring and transforms into Dew Eagle, which Kinjiro really approves of, as the pair of them launch an attack against Gal Red, slashing with wings, slashing with swords, and using the sword whip, before Gal Red pulls out another instrument and both eagles stop dead in their tracks. Before it's too late though, Rico is able to pull back his helmet and become Dew Gorilla. Rushing in, he's able to punch Gal Red away from his bag of instruments, before returning to Goju Leon mode, throwing him across the room, and then transforming into Sun Vulcan, and finishing him off with a powerful slash. Gaia says for her sake, it's not over yet. Before we return to the fight between Herrero, Ryuji, and No.1 Tag, as Herrero says from now on, you are my prey, and launches a devastating final attack. Approaching a beaten No.1 Tag, he puts his hand on his head and says tag. Now I'm number one. And as No.1 Tag explodes, Herrero walks away. Winner, Goju Wolf. As the three Gojujas congratulate Herrero, they notice something different, as No.1 Tag bursts, becoming a black monster with a single horn that Gaia recognises as the monster that took his girl, and saying, "I've finally found you, one-horned beast." He rushes towards it as it readies its weapon and walks towards Gaia, and the episode ends. Okay, so that was quite a fun episode. I wouldn't call it one of the best ones of this season so far. I mean, we're in round 2 now, and it doesn't really feel like anything's changed. Because I know they weren't a proper group for most of the first arc of this, but it just felt like a slow gathering of the Sentai team. I mean, we used to have to wait 6 episodes to see the main mech. I mean, look at Duranger, episode 6 before we got Daijujin. I think Gingaman, it was like episode 6 or 7 before we finally got to see like the main one from that. You know, I mean, recent years, like King Oja, we saw that straight away. I think we saw that one in the second or third episodes. Although we still saw the mecha in the first episodes, like smaller versions. I think that was 6th season. Zenkaija took like 5 or 6 episodes to get the team together. But yeah, since then it seems to be like a rush. So I was kind of enjoying the slow build up. It just felt like the same thing, just taking their time. Now they're together, it doesn't really feel like much has changed because of that slow grouping. They just, I mean, let's face it, red, blue, and yellow sort of just came together anyway. And just green then joined them, and then black was the last one in. And then they had Tyranno Ranger going, yeah, you got to be a proper Sentai, you got to do this and that. And it's like, okay, yeah. Which I guess sort of closed out the first arc, but doesn't have enough of a difference to feel like separate arcs to me. Oh, one thing I did want to add, actually, because I completely forgot to mention it in the last video. The black and gold Daijujin is finally canon. What started off as what I guess was just a limited edition um, recoloring is now a genuine thing. So go Black Daijujin, I guess. Um, it's just such a classic design. I've always, I mean, grew up on MMPR, so I always loved that one. Bit confused over like the instrument stuff. I mean, he's playing the ocarina, which I only recognise because of Zelda, which doesn't seem to affect anyone. When he says the maracas control a lion, surely he'd be affecting himself on that one. Herrero acting like a dog. Yeah, telling him to shake was pretty funny, I guess. I wasn't quite sure about the jawbone thing for Unicorn. I mean, I guess he's treating him as a horse, but even so, there's a jawbone that sounded like a shaky thing. I don't even know what the instrument was called. It's like this wooden thing with like a thing, and it's like da 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 da. You'd hiss it. I never really paid attention. I only even know the kalimba because my mum got like a couple of mini ones for my daughters. You've never used it, but now I know you can do like winner number 1 on it. I may have to see if I can learn that and just be like ding 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 ding. Go winner number 1 on it. That'd be quite fun to learn. As it is, like my daughter's like constantly bouncing around the house going, "Go wiener number 1." I don't know why she's got to say wiener, but I've obviously played that theme enough times that she's got it stuck in her head. Other than that, not really much. I mean, we get a bit more Rico. He's a washed-up idol, but we kind of already knew that. There was a scandal or something. So, no real backstory. But also, we've finally got a new villain. So, we've got a monster that's taken over, or a monster that's become a No.1 monster. So, it's like, what was it? Shinkenja, when they always said, oh, it's got an extra life. It's sort of a bit like that. It's the monster's got an extra life. So be interesting to see where that goes next week. It's another two-parter, which I wouldn't complain about. In quite a few of the older Sentais, I mean, I've watched from like Jetman, most of the series up to present. There were a lot of two-parters sort of around that time period in the 90s, so not getting a full story in a week? Yeah, I like that. I think it's good, you know, they're not relying on people being, well, I have to know the whole story every week. We're getting half a story and half a story. Let's go. Let's make some more longer, hopefully more interesting stories. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on this one. I'm going to get into editing. So hopefully you guys will be able to enjoy this at a decent time. And I'll see you next week. Oh, and I finally got my Builder Megazord parts. So keep an eye out for some more building stuff. Because I'll tell you what, that giant Daijujin is starting to look good. I'll see you next time.